Or
All right. Good morning, everybody. Early morning crypto talk, Bitcoin. Brandon here, Los Angeles, California. Ready to learn some more crypto education. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. So we have Gina Ray from Philly, LaFoose from Laurel, Maryland, Bethany Gibbs, Seattle, Lorna Vasquez, Stan Williams, Tampa, Florida, Fort Gone, Tony Kingston, Sadiki. That's right. I told you this entire month I'm going back old school on my beats. Brenda from LKC. This was one of the tightest beats of the 90s. No limit. Barbara Brown. Tracy Kubich. Good morning, good morning. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the YouTube page. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return on investment back as fast as possible. Rule number 4, where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What vehicle are you using to make it happen? KGX. Stay focused. Do not get distracted. Take action. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, so let's go ahead and get things kicked off, and I am going to hit screen share. Man, this beat takes me back. Good old days. All right, you should be able to see my screen now. And I need to pull this up. All right. First and foremost, I have to say, give a shout out to my wife. Happy birthday. Today's her birthday, December 7th. And then in 2 days is my grandmother's birthday. She will be 95 years old. My wife turns 42 today. So if anybody tries to reach me today, I might be sporadic, in and out. We'll be out celebrating. But I also want to give a shout out to, I like what Diana Townsend did. We've got a new star of the week. We started a new series. Well, actually, two of them. One where we are taking our 45 lessons within KGX and doing a live training on them to give you more detail of them. That was one. But then this past Wednesday, we did something new as well. Myself and Jairus Coleman did a combined Facebook Live, well, it wasn't Facebook Live, Zoom crypto talk where we, Melinda saying something because I'm about to give her a shout. I got to let her know I'm talking about her right now. Let me tell her this. Linda, hop on the crypto talk right now. I am talking about you. All right. So I'm getting to that in a second. But here's what happened. This past Wednesday night, we started a new series, and I had been holding back on this. I had been waiting until we actually went live because by that time, everything is in place. Our products, our monthly auto ship, the extra value that we're adding to what we're doing. And we're not going live until April of next year. So you say, you know, why wait? Let's go ahead and get it started now. Let's show everybody the true value of what KGX is about. It's not just the 45 lessons. It is about the community. It is about the growth, the mentorship, the ability to hold your hand, walk you through the basics, not just send you a video, and show you how to make money and put money in your hands. The power is in your hands. Whether you want to build a team or not, I tell people all the time, you can make a lot of money without ever sharing this opportunity with others. The key is the education. You'll make far more money if and when you do. And when you learn this knowledge, you're going to want to share it with other people. So by default, yeah, you're going to build a team. You're not even realizing it. But the key is, like lesson number one, education. Education is the key. So we started a new series where we're actually walking you through how to take advantage of one aspect of making money with crypto, and that is the trading side of it. See, the easy thing is buy and hold. Everybody knows that. But when I first heard about Bitcoin, and I had friends that were making millions, and I asked them, how are they making their money? And their answer was, you know, I bought Bitcoin back in 2014 when it was like a couple $100. It's a couple $1,000 now. I said, so tell me more about it. And they couldn't answer my questions because they didn't have any education. And I said, how are you investing in something you don't understand? And their answer was, Bitcoin keeps going up. Well, I may not be a rocket scientist, but I know what comes up also comes down. What do you do when that happens? They had no idea. That's why I decided to get into my crypto education and knowledge. And when you have the education, then you know how to make money when the market goes up and when the market goes down. Now you've added a second way of making money in the crypto space. One way is by buying and holding. Another way is by trading. How do you make money when the market's going down? Do you know people are still making millions right now, even though Bitcoin is only at what? Well, wait, let's go back and check. What is Bitcoin up to right now? 3,300, 3,400, and people are losing their mind, freaking out. The uneducated are freaking out. They just don't know. But as I'm about to show you in a second, people are still making a killing. This one bot that I'm following, and I recognize it is a bot, made over $60,000 in 3 days while the market was going down. All right. The entire crypto market cap is at 103 billion. I have not seen it this low since early 2017. Bitcoin dominance is back up at 55.2%, which means since this keeps rising, the losing factor here is the altcoins are really taking a hit. The altcoins. Bitcoin, the market looks down double digits across the board. Double digits. And I went over last night in the article 4 reasons as to why this is taking place. There's a war going on, right? I'm starting to believe what Craig Wright said. He said, I'll see this thing down to $1,500 a Bitcoin. And he ain't lying. That's exactly what's taking place. Did come up, it was at $3,100, now at $3,200. Let's see, the best performers over the last 24 hours. Never heard of this. XYO Networks up 20%. Metaverse, let's see, Gemini Dollar, that's a stable coin. Stasis, stable coin. The stable coins, of course. So here's an example how you can see all the stable coins out there. Paxos, USD coin, True USD, DAI, Tether, Stasis Euros, Gemini Dollar. Those are all stable coins. So outside of the stable coins, it's just these gold, Bitcoin, Metaverse, XYO. That's in the positive. Worst performers over the last 24 hours. In fact, EOS down almost 25%. Let's see. Bitcoin Gold, Augur, Binance is down 17%. Litecoin 17. Zcash 17. Dash 16. Neo 15. Stellar 15% down. And while the uneducated person might be freaking out right now, you know what I'm doing? All I see is a gold mine. I see a fire sale. I see the swap meet taking place right now. Everybody who was saying in 2017 late, man, I wish the coins were lower so that I can afford them. That day is here. Right? The day is here. Bitcoin, $3,200 a coin. Ripple, 29 cents. Ethereum, 83 cents. Stellar, 10 cents. Bitcoin Cash, $100. SV, oh wow, well, look at that. SV is worth more than Bitcoin Cash. That's a first. And SV is controlled by Craig Wright, Cash, Roger Ver and Company. They're having a war right now. They're the reason why all this is taking place. Why, you may ask, without me going into deep details, they own the biggest mining companies that have the most hash rate of mining everything. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and they're always flipping for whatever they're going to put their hash power to mine, whichever one they think is the most profitable. And when they have a war with each other, everybody else that's watching is like, uh-oh, you know, let's pull out the market and see how this plays out. That's a big thing that's taking place right now. These clowns are at war with each other. But all that means for us is opportunity to get these coins. You got to think how the rich people are right now. Get these coins on the cheap. So you can get them on the cheap and hold for the long term. But then if you learn how to trade, as Melinda has done, and I encourage you to watch her video. I was late this morning doing this crypto talk because I was watching her video. I got a call from Diana. She said, look up Facebook. We have a new star of the week, Melinda Marie. I said, what did Melinda do? She said, watch the video. Then I also took a look at, I think Justice made this. Yeah, this was from Wednesday when we did that. Bouget, I need 2 private lessons ASAP. You got it. Diana Townsend puts up accountability shout out. Hey, where's that? Oh, there it is. KGX star of the week. Melinda Marie. Taking action matters most. And she was spot on with what she said in her video. She took action. She doubled her money. She plugged in. It's not just about watching the videos, but it's about taking action. And so maybe, you know, us doing that video training kind of pushes you a little bit. We're going to do it even more. We're going to do it again next Wednesday, and we're going to have you guys on your laptops take your money and do it while we do it. Don't just watch us do it. Speaking of, I won't do it now. I got to log in and everything because I noticed. Show you an example here. Last Bitcoin price 32.65. I'm not logged in, so I can't do a trade. But I've got a sell order at 37.3. What was it? 38.73, I think it is. Because I bought. No. I bought at 37.33, something like that. But I'm selling it at 3,800. But the market dropped, and I was following this bot here. And when you look on the market, you see it's consistent: 50 Bitcoin buy order, 50 Bitcoin sell order. But you can't compete with a bot. It is making changes instantly. So when the market drops, it's canceling its order and then re-putting it in there at the new numbers. I'm not looking at the chart 24/7 like this to do it. So I'm going to look a little bit more closely now. I'm probably going to sell and take that loss because I'm not doing this long term. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a re-buy order and sell orders and make up the loss with the dip of the price. See, it doesn't matter the current price of Bitcoin. What matters is the volatility. This is what matters. This can happen at $20,000 a coin or $500 a coin. This is what matters, the percentages, the percentage changes. So even though Bitcoin is cheap, these guys are making a killing still on it. Anyways, that's not what I'm going to go into that right now. I want to just wanted to highlight Melinda. Congratulations. And we want to see more Melindas out there doing the same thing. I think Mafuz said he did the same thing. Mafuz, you got to shoot a video showing us what you did. This is new. I didn't see this 4 minutes ago. Put up a post on Facebook. Share, going to pay money for my home in Atlanta. You hear that? Diana's moving from Delaware to Atlanta. 2019, and the vehicle I'm going to use to do it, KGX educational platform. I had 3 RSVP for the meeting I'm hosting in Atlanta tomorrow. Decided to implement a social media campaign calling it the KGX Star of the Week. In order to be picked, you will need to do a Facebook Live on your personal page and share either why you joined KGX or any kind of testimonial. Tag me in your post, please, and each week we will highlight someone. Let's make sure we are not KGX secret agents. I like that. Let's put it out there, what we love about this platform and why you decided to join. And if you have implemented the education, let's recognize you so you can begin to build influence and let people know you're winning over here. Comment below if you plan on being next week's Star of the Week. You never know, I might be able to sneak a couple of goodies in for those who participate. Ooh, people like free stuff. Again, kudos to our very first star, Melinda Marie. Your story is definitely going to inspire someone who may have been on the fence. Melinda doubled her money. Imagine if she had $10,000 in there and did exactly what she did. That's another $10,000 she would have made. $20,000. Now, I'm not saying you're going to double your money on everything. You will, and I got to make this disclaimer. I guarantee every single one of you is going to lose somewhere along the way. I don't know how much. I don't know in what vehicle. I don't know where or how. I can guarantee you will lose somewhere, so you need to be prepared for that. That is why you only invest money you can afford to lose. You may lose big, you may lose small. But if you follow the rules and you keep your emotions in check, you will survive. And because of your education, you're going to win far more than you lose. I am on record saying this. Every now and then I have somebody pop up crying to me about something that they lost and that they didn't expect they were ever going to lose, and then try to blame me for them losing. It happens, yes, all the time. I'm at fault for it. Did you do what I said? First, did you invest money you couldn't afford to lose? No. You used my house payment. What, did I tell you to do that? No. So anyways, congratulations to Melinda. Keep doing what you're doing and start to scale up. The best way to learn is by practice, doing it over and over and over. People keep saying, Brandon, we want to know as much as you know and what Jairus knows and what Rob knows. Really, you guys know more than we knew when we first got started. There is no way you can be listening to my crypto talks for at least 30 days and not be an expert. No way. The only difference is we're applying what we've learned and you haven't yet. I took $30. I was scared as hell to push this buy button. $30. I just did it. Flipped it into six figures. You just got to get out there and do it. I lost a lot too. I lost just this week. Like, for example, you guys saw me do that sell order. And what happened? The market dropped. So now if I sell, I'm selling at a loss. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Why? Because I'm going to play the market at where the market's at. And these micro trades, I'm going to recover what I lost and make more profit. I'm going to do that as soon as I get, wow, dang, I got a lot to do today. I'll do that probably starting tomorrow. Right? It's a learning process. You learn. I also realized a mistake I made. Here's the mistake I made. I did my sell order here. I should have done my sell order here and then also put a stop loss on it, which meant since it didn't go up to 3,800 and it started going down, I should have put my stop loss on it going down, and I would have sold when it was still high, at least much higher than it is right now at 32. I might have sold at 3,700, and I would have saved myself $500 worth, and then come back in the market and do it again. Instead, because I did my sell order right here, I rode it all the way from 3750 or something all the way down to 3,200. So I made a mistake. I recognize the mistake I made, and I'm going to correct it the next time. So I'm going to go ahead and sell it at a loss, and I'm going to recoup it. But that's the whole process. All right. Let's get on with crypto talk, because actually none of that should have been said in this. I should have saved that for our private members only, but whatever. First up, let's look at what's going on in the world news and what's going on with crypto. Chinese investors have lost faith in blockchain. This is interesting. They're not talking about just crypto itself or Bitcoin. They're talking about the blockchain itself. That caught my attention because all year I've been seeing the opposite. People might have lost faith in Bitcoin and crypto and stuff, but the blockchain has been having its best year ever, 2018. Best year ever. Nothing but positive news out there. The infrastructure is being built. But the Chinese have lost faith. But have they? The richest man in China has invested billions into blockchain technology for Alibaba and all his other businesses. They recognize it. IBM, you saw me do that interview with the dude from IBM at the Blockchain Expo. They got 1,000 patents on blockchain technology. Bank of America has over 70. Chase Bank has patents out. Walmart has patents out. Every major company. Watch, Facebook is developing their own deal with blockchain technology and coming out with their own coin. So what's up with the Chinese? And just for those that don't know history, all the way up until the summer of 2017, the entire crypto market has been dominated by the Chinese.
The majority of transactions and hash rate has come out of China. The biggest exchanges in the world were in China. And then China was encouraging this up to that time because they, like Russia, Iran, were looking at ways and alternatives to be able to conduct international trade and limiting the influence of the United States. And the United States influence is the US dollar. How do you limit the United States influence? Well, you got to get away from the dollar. Well, what other currency in the world is strong enough to challenge the dollar? None of them, except cryptocurrency. If these nations are able to collaborate with each other, do trade amongst each other with a currency outside of the US dollar that marginalizes the US influence and that puts power back in their own hands and sovereignty. And that's what China saw. China's like, look, the United States has been here for 242 years. We've been here for millenniums. It is time for us to take our rightful place back in the world. Russia is thinking the same way. Iran used to be Persia, used to dominate the planet for centuries. America is just a blip on the world's radar screen. These ancient cultures are ready to take their place back. And they're using crypto to do so. But China had a problem. If the nation is using crypto to gain independence from the West, but then what happens if their people, remember, they're still communists, if their people decide to use crypto to gain independence from their own government? Now we got a catch-22 situation going on. How do we, as a nation, adapt this technology to get away from Washington, but keep our people in line and in check with communism? They figured it out. They banned everything crypto in July 2017. All the exchanges had to leave and they went to South Korea and to Japan. And you know what Japan did in response? Legalized Bitcoin as a national currency because China and Japan are competitors. So they took all the business. Japan took all that business. So now that you know the backdrop, the history of that, it's not enough that you just read an article. You have to understand it and its implications and impact. So amidst the cryptocurrency bloodbath, it appears digital assets and blockchain technology are losing some of their biggest advocates. And here's one thing that's interesting about this crypto bloodbath. I always state, I don't buy Bitcoin, I earn Bitcoin. But you know what? Let this thing keep going down. It goes down into the $1,500 region. I am going to be a buying mofo when it comes to this. I will be stockpiling as much Bitcoin as I possibly can because I am long on this. Man, it gets down to that. I'm like, how fast can I get 20 to 30 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin, and then sit on it? I don't care if it goes down to 1,500. It's classic supply and demand. That sucker's going to run up to 100,000 a coin. I put 10K on Bitcoin when it's $1,500 a coin. What is my worth when the sucker goes to 50,000 a coin and 100,000? So I'll be changing my strategy up because my strategy right now is not buying and holding a bunch of Bitcoin. Anyways, let's get back to the article. The Chinese investors have taken note of the cryptocurrency market's $706 billion loss over the past year, and they're not pleased about it. See, this is the problem. You cannot use December 2017 as a measuring stick. That's what the media is trying to do. That's what critics are trying to do. And that is what uneducated people who just came into crypto for the first time, second half of 2017, is doing. Bitcoin's been here since 2009. The majority of that time, it was worth less than $1,000. It didn't pop that and maintain it until 2017. Bitcoin is all right. It had a massive run up. That was a blip. So people that are long, Winklevoss twins aren't sweating this. Anyways, the new investors are, because they, investment of $700 billion. In fact, many are claiming that blockchain now they're going to attack the blockchain, doesn't have the prowess and power it once boasted, and that any such statements were fabrications, really. Okay, let's continue. Bonnie Chung, a venture capital partner at 500 Startups, describes the present period surrounding blockchain and cryptocurrencies as one of disillusionment. She comments, as much as I am a believer in the long-term disruptive power of blockchain, it cannot solve all the problems in the world. Well, number one, it wasn't designed to solve all the problems in the world. It was designed to solve one of the biggest problems, and not even a problem, but an obstacle, a challenge in the world. And that is, how do you transfer ownership digitally without having any influence from a third party like a bank, a government, or an agency? It wasn't possible until the blockchain. The best we were able to do was transfer copies. That's the information age. That was the internet. It was limited. But now, the blockchain, and I don't care, I'm going to read the rest of this article, but here's a fact. For the first time in human history, the blockchain eliminates corruption. It eliminates manipulation. It eliminates agendas. It eliminates bigotry, prejudice, and racism, and it levels the playing ground, no matter what race or color you are, no matter what sex you are, no matter what language you speak, no matter what family you were born into. It is freedom for the first time in human history for all people. That is a fact. So what is their issue here? Let me continue. You don't know how many times we have read proposals that claim to solve all pain points for almost every industry. How do you convert an investment that started as a venture deal to something that ended up almost like a bond? Can you lend that bond? There are all interesting questions that will need to be answered in the future. Well, that was a very specific question based on a broad question. And on top, it's not going to solve all the world's problems. And you give me one example here. Nothing big has happened. Okay. It has been 10 years since Satoshi Nakamoto published his original white paper regarding Bitcoin. To this day, there have been no killer apps or even transformational platforms regarding real-world applications of blockchain. In addition, Bitcoin transactions where blockchain likely held the most ground have fallen by roughly 80% from January through September of this year. That is a factual statement that she made here. That is all true. However, that is like going back to 1995 and saying there is no real world application of this thing called the internet, this email. Most people aren't even using email. Most people don't have, they're not doing communications through the internet and sharing stuff. Yeah, because it hasn't had mass adoption yet. It's the early stages. That's like saying the internet failed because you can't stream videos on the internet in 1995. We were still on AOL dial-up. The technology wasn't there yet. This is the early stages. So yes, Bitcoin might have been around for 10 years now, but it is still the early stages. Most people out there don't know what blockchain is. Even those that might have heard of Bitcoin, they definitely didn't hear of blockchain. I remember my brother, summer of 2017, when he was hearing about me talking about this Bitcoin stuff. And I'm like, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. And he was like, a what? What's a crypto? What, kryptonite? He heard of Bitcoin, but he never heard of cryptocurrency. He definitely didn't hear of blockchain. He definitely didn't hear of distributed ledger technology. He didn't know these terms. See, this is why KGX is so important. When people say, why do I need to pay for education? I'll just go to YouTube. Really? You don't even know what questions to ask. All you're going to type is a Bitcoin. You don't know about mining. You don't know about nodes. You don't know about proof of stake, proof of work. You don't know any of this stuff. You don't know to ask these questions. So even though this is a factual statement that was made, it is misleading because we're still early on. 2018 has been nothing but mass adoption of the infrastructure. All of these companies are putting the infrastructure in place to allow the blockchain and crypto to do what it's designed to do. Anyways, what has been reported by the media that around 40% of blockchain projects have shut down is too conservative. Okay, let's go back to the dot-com era in the late 90s. 95% of all those dot-com companies failed. You guys realize that? 95% of all the dot-com companies and ideas in the late 90s failed. Did that mean the internet was a failure? What came out of that? Google, Yahoo, Facebook, and all the stuff you see today was a result of those that succeeded. The 5% that succeeded is what you see the internet is today. So what? Well, 45% of those, what industry do most companies actually succeed in when they first get started? Most companies fail their first year. Most of those companies that survive fail within their first 3 to 5 years. So how's that different than this industry? How is this industry any different? For any industry, around 20% of startups should fail when the sector's market value drops 10%. With the kind of market collapse the crypto market has seen lately, almost all speculators have left, but that's far from enough. I feel it takes around getting rid of 99% of crypto exchanges and unrealistic projects for a new wave of bull market to arrive. Now, I like that statement. That statement is true. So what she's saying is, to see this market have a complete turnaround, you're going to lose 99% of what you see right now. Be prepared for that, not scared by it. That is why I'm so excited about KGX's future in 2019. We survived 2018. We're still here. Most of those companies that started when we did are not. And any company that started right now that can challenge us is at least 8 months behind legally. Now's the time to step in. Despite these and similar cases of gloom and doom, others are looking at what's occurring in the industry as a necessary shakedown. I agree. Some believe that the present circumstances will rid the crypto arena of many fakers and phonies and say this is necessary to get the blockchain space back to a healthy position. I agree. Hubert Yuming Yuan, CEO of Huobi China, is one of those figures. He left the position with the brokerage firm Industrial Securities to join Huobi last March. He recently commented, "The blockchain industry has flushed out some poor quality projects, and the entry barrier to the industry has increased, which is beneficial to the sector's future growth. The crypto bubble burst has led to a more rationalized industry, and we have seen more practical attempts at blockchain applications." That is true. I noticed a huge difference between the London Blockchain Expo and the Santa Clara one that happened 6 months later. The London one, it seemed to be a whole lot of wacky, crazy ideas out there that didn't make no sense whatsoever. This one seemed to be a lot more professionals that were in the space. And what I mean by that, I didn't see too much brand new, companies. What I saw was existing companies that's expanding themselves into the blockchain space. with new ideas in their companies. That's what I saw more. It's like the grown-ups were here this time around. So solid public blockchain projects and numerous popular decentralized apps are gaining momentum. Chinese enterprises and conglomerates continue to explore new blockchain use cases. Unlike steam engines, electricity, computers, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing, blockchain is not a productivity revolution. Blockchain is similar with printing, paper making, and the internet. It can liberate productivity, even though perhaps it does not represent a fundamental technology breakthrough. That's true. I was visiting my dad, and his best friend was over there. And his best friend was asking me about, this Bitcoin crypto stuff. And he said, so what's the best blockchain company that I can invest in? I said, no, you don't understand. There is no blockchain company. What you want to look at is that companies that are implementing blockchain technology to enhance what they're already doing. That is why I said the blockchain is going to disrupt every major industry. Whatever company is out there, it's like they're going through an upgrade. The blockchain is going to upgrade them. And then new companies are going to be created based strictly on blockchain technology. Those are the ones I'm looking for. That's that new money. I'm not looking to, I should invest in IBM now that they've got blockchain. IBM's been there. They've done their thing. They had their run, and they're just going to make more money now. What I'm looking for is who's going to be the next Amazon? Who's going to be the next Facebook, the next Google? What's that next big industry disruptor that I can get in on now at the early stages and become a billionaire because I got in at the early stages? That's how you're going to become a Bitcoin billionaire. It's not by how many Bitcoin you buy and own. It's not by how many Bitcoin and cryptos that you can trade. It's what companies can you invest in that's going to go from being worth 25 million to next thing you know, the company's worth 50 billion in 2 years. What if you invested in Coinbase 2 years ago? Or Gemini or blockchain.com? You got to find these companies. That's why I go to these expos. I don't go there to party on the boat like the article I read yesterday. I'm going there so I can see what's new, what's coming. I can go home and start doing some research, work in my KGX business so that I can have as much cash as possible so that when an opportunity comes down, I can drop $200,000 in an investment and then let that $200,000 in 2 to 3 years flip to be worth 20 million plus. That's the age we live in right now. The Bitcoin crash continues. Bitcoin has garnered some serious flack over the past few weeks. The currency initially fell into the $5,000 range after trading at roughly $6,300 for several weeks in anticipation of the upcoming Bitcoin Cash fork that took place just a week prior to Thanksgiving. This hard fork was the subject of extensive controversy that pitted many industry leaders, Craig Wright and Roger Ver, against each other and led to serious price declines for the father of crypto. Following the fork, Bitcoin began sinking further into the $4,000 range and then dropped to less than $3,600 during Thanksgiving weekend. At press time, it is trading for just over $3,800. And this article, look at that. They say $3,800. This article just came out yesterday, and it's all the way down to $3,200 right now. That's how fast things can happen. All right, next article is Newsflash, battered Bitcoin price sets new yearly low at 33.10. It's lower than that now. Well, this says 33.03. Post this link. So much for that early week recovery. The Bitcoin price touched a fresh yearly low on Friday morning, driving the crypto market even further into the red as financial markets across the board continued their recent downtrend. You know, hindsight is everything. If I can go back in time in January, I would have taken all my crypto assets out and put it into Tether and sat on it for the entire year. And then at the end of the year, take it out of Tether and buy into Bitcoin. Do what Albert Thomas did. How he sold 1.8 Bitcoin into Tether and then bought back in and now had 2.1 Bitcoin because he had the same value. But, you know, that's hindsight. They said, all the experts were saying Bitcoin's going to reach $20,000 by the end of this year. Hey, there you go. Bitcoin had entered the day on shaky footing, with many fearing that the flagship cryptocurrency's inability to defend the $4,000 level signaled an impending drop to the $3,000 region. BTC has not broken that next crucial level yet, but the Bitcoin price did take a major step toward that level on Friday morning when BTC dove to a new yearly low at 33.11 after trading as high as 38.49 less than 24 hours prior. See, that's how fast things can happen. It's also why I don't actively day trade. I'm not looking at this thing 24/7 like that. As of the time of writing, BTC was hovering near 33.44 and Coinbase representing a single day decline of just under 10%. The move to a fresh low watermark in 2018 followed the SEC's decision to delay ruling on VanEck's latest Bitcoin ETF proposal until Friday, 2019. However, nearly everyone expected that the commission would kick the can down the road until the last minute, as it has done with other crypto ETF applications in the past. Consequently, it seems unlikely that the delay would have any real impact on Bitcoin's short-term movements. In any case, the technicals continue to look poor for the crypto market, with some analysts, including Bloomberg's Mike McGlone, predicting that a mark as low as 1,500 would not be out of question for the already battered Bitcoin price. So in other words, it is possible to see this drop to the 1,500 range. All I can say, and I know what's going to happen, when this thing goes into the 2000s and below, you're going to see a mass panic, which is what's going to further it down because you're going to see a mass sell-off. And I'm going to be sitting there rubbing my hands together because I'm going to start doing a mass buying. This is temporary. One thing I've always learned is never make permanent decisions for temporary problems. I have done that in the past and it has bitten me in the ass. Take a breather, take a step back, and think. Always looking at the long-term impact of any decision that you make. So I'm taking the long haul. I'm looking at this like, man, this goes down. I'm looking at how many Bitcoin can I get my hands on? And then I'm also looking at, okay, how can I make more money to get more Bitcoin? KGX. During this time is when people need to be putting all their time into education, learning. This market ain't going nowhere, no matter the price. Just to show you guys again, this has happened 6 times before. And it went almost 2 years in a bear market between 2014 and 2016. This has happened before. So we had a spike, and it's coming back down to reality, and it might hover here for a while. Then it has another spike, but the next spike is going to be higher. Look at every single spike that took place. It's just higher than the previous ones. Comes down, and we're going to have another higher spike. It's a pattern. Got to recognize the pattern. All right, that is it for news for today. This is Friday. I will not be doing a late night crypto talk unless something major happens, because the market, to me, is showing we have not hit the bottom. When you see everything in double digits reds like this, we have not hit the bottom yet. So if some major news happens, like, oh, it went down to 2,500 or something, I might do a live tonight. CoinMarketCap hasn't even up 3,300 right now for CoinMarketCap, but the live is ours at 3,268. The last price, 5-minute chart. Look at the last 6 hours. You know, it's had a squeeze and it came down. Now I got to see the top bar. Look at 15 minutes. Yeah, it's splitting there even more. Look at the last 24 hours. Okay, it didn't spike up, but it went up and it's kind of level. This is kind of level. So I don't know how far this is going to go. I think it might have kind of hit its wall a bit. And we'll see. Got to keep an eye on this all day. All right, I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that's the point. Congratulations, Melinda, for stepping out there and getting into the game. If you guys have not sold or traded or moved coins around, you're not in the game yet. That is how you learn. Start with $10, $15, $20, and practice buying and selling and moving stuff around. Because if you own a Green X machine, and heaven forbid, the very first time you ever move coins onto an exchange and sell is your own green coins, you're in trouble. You are opening up to make mistakes. Start practicing now with $10. Put $20 on Cryptopia and buy and sell between coins and practice. And we are going to hold your hand doing it too when we do our lives. So with that, you guys have a great day. Tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow? I'll be back for early morning crypto talk tomorrow. Jairus Coleman is doing a special training at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on kjsglobal.info. Those of you in the Atlanta area or Marietta in Georgia, come on out to see, you're going to see Diana. Let me see where that flyer is. That update. Here we go. Diana Townsend presents KGX Review, how to properly launch your business and get started with KGX, Saturday, December 8th, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time at Piccadilly's Restaurant, Marietta, Georgia. Here's a number you can call for more details. So if you're in that area, you definitely want to plug in, come out and see Diana, see what's going on with KGX, and we will see you all next time. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.